Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So here I am with one more additional topic that was left in my previous playlist. So I'm including here. So we'll here study about the Azure tags, and we have already studied about Azure storage, the redundancy types of the storage. So now we are going to learn about Azure storage services and type of storage in Azure. Okay. I will take you through the portal first. Okay. Then I'll start explaining you what Azure tags are. Okay, so let me tell you here one resource group, and then we'll see how the tags are being entered. So resource group. Okay, so meanwhile, what tags are, it is actually a key value pairs, okay, that allows you to identify resources based on their settings relevant to your organization, okay. So for example, you can use a tag with the key environment. So for example, you can use a tag with the key environment and the value production to identify the resource deployed to your production environment. So tag can be applied to any of the Azure resources. Like right now, I'm going to apply on this resource group that we are creating. So you can say that it can be applied to any of the resources, resource group, subscription, but not to the management group. Okay. So here we can give any key name. Okay. Any name you can decide. You can give it as a tag value. So like here I'm selecting cost center, and then I'm giving it value as training and certifications. There can be a different number of the number value can be mentioned here on in place of this cost center. So like what happen is tags can be applied and they support all cost occurring risk services. Okay, so you can use tag policies to ensure that these services are provisioned within the tag. So however, these tags can be stored as a plain text. Okay, so I'm here mentioning owner. Okay, so I'm mentioning random name here, and then again I'm mentioning some other name. Okay, so like that you can keep on adding the tags, number of tags, but there are certain limitation to the number of tags that you can input to any particular resource. It's around 50, and some of the resources have 15 only. So it's like maximum of 50 tag name value you can value pairs you can give to any resource or resource group or the subscription. Okay, so it's a limitation of the tag. So as I told you that the tag can be used to group your billing data. Okay, so like for example, it's just I'm just keep on filling the different kind of tags so that you can see how much values and names we can give, random names, and the random tagging that we can do. So for example, if you are running multiple VMs for different organization, you can use tags to group usage by your cost center. Okay, so you can also categorize cost by runtime environment such as billing usage. Okay, so for any VM which is running in the production environment, you can just look for that particular cost center. With the same cost center, all the VMs will be listed and you can use it for your billing purposes for calculation of the billing. Okay, so I'm creating this resource group. You can see that all the resource group means this resource group is being created with the number of tags that I have given here. Okay. Okay, so this is the resource group that we have created, and let's suppose let me show you the tags. One more thing for the tags are stored as plain text. Okay, so you should avoid any kind of adding sensitive values to them. So it's just plain text that it's like I have entered here. Okay, let me show. Okay, so here we can see all the tags that I have entered here. So we can see cost center, creation date, environment type, name, owner, and similarly you can mention tech owner, you can mention the other details for what this resource group will be used for. It is for prod, your dev environment, etc. So you can enter whatever tags you would like to enter. So I mentioned that I already told you that it will be a maximum of 50 tag name value pairs that you can give. Okay, some resources have 15 maximum values as per defined or standard defined by the Azure. Okay, so that was all about Azure tagging. I'll begin with Azure services, Azure storage services and the type of storage. So let's go and begin with the other topic of this day. Okay, so let's begin with storage account and its types. Okay, and also services. Okay, so we'll discuss what kind of storage services that Azure provides, and we'll compare it with AWS. So the kind of service that Azure provides is completely different from AWS. So whatever service we would like to use with respect to Azure, we need to have a storage account for that. Okay, so for again I'm repeating, so for using Azure storage services you should have storage account in place. Okay, but it's not like the same in this. Okay, so let me first discuss kind of the services that we have in the Azure storage account. Okay, so first we have blob storage. Second, we have file share, which is file share sync. It's also one type of service that we have in Azure storage. Okay, so the third one is table storage, where the relational data and the data is stored in a tabular format. Let me type it here. Okay, and the last one and the fourth one is your queue. Okay, so it's in a form of queue and stack. It is being stored one over the other. So as I mentioned, it's comparison with AWS. So Azure is one of the cloud provider which is providing in such a format where you have to create the Azure storage account and then you have to use its services. Wherein when we compare it with AWS, we don't have to create storage account and it is actually acting as a standalone service. Okay, so they are being managed individually. So when we need to use the different kind of services in AWS, we talk about S3 bucket, which is a blob storage, okay, in AWS. Second, for file storage, we have EFS, okay. Third, for table storage, they are using DynamoDB. And fourth, for queue storage is SQS, okay. So everything is working individually in your AWS as a standalone, okay. Okay, so that's all about your storage services. We'll study about types of storage. I will take you through the Microsoft document for that. Okay, so let me talk about the types of storage accounts. So when we talk about the types of storage account, we have in total 4 types of storage account. So the first storage account is standard general purpose V2. That is including all the storage resources, storage services are included, all the redundancy options are included, which is LRS, ZRS, ZRS, GZRS. Okay, and what is the use of this? You can use this type of storage account for your blob, for your file, for your queue and tables. All 4 types of services are being supported. So it's recommended for most of the Azure storage. If you see most of the client or the project, we are using standard general purpose V2 only. Okay, so it's like it supports SMB also. So if you want support for NFS in Azure files, you have to use premium file share account type. Okay, so premium file share is not, or you can say NFS is not supported in this standard general purpose, but SMB is supported. Okay. Okay, so let's discuss about the second storage account, which is premium blob. So it includes your only blob storage is included, like, and the redundancy option is LRS and ZRS. Okay, so it support both SMB and FS, so you can use both when you are using premium blobs. So it's mostly recommended when you have high transaction rates, or that means it is using a very low storage. Okay, you can say very low storage latency is required. Okay, so in that case you can use this storage account. Now third is premium file shares. You can use this file share, as I already mentioned, that if you want your storage account to support both SMB and NFS file share, you can definitely go for premium file shares. We have 2 redundancy option here, which is LRS and ZRS. So it's again a premium kind of storage type for file shares only, because it is supporting only file shares, supporting your Azure file service. Okay, so it is specially for file shares. So as the name suggests itself, it's a premium file share. So it's for file share that is supporting both your SMB and NFS file share. Okay. Okay, so last but not the least, we have premium page blobs that is only supported for page blobs only. Redundancies again LRS and ZRS. So it is also premium as the name suggested, but for only blobs if you want. Okay, so we'll also look for pricing calculator. Clearly, like most of the time, we are using standard general purpose V2 only. Okay, even for archival of data, we are using this. Okay, so let's go to pricing calculator again. I'm again putting storage account in our bucket, and let's change here the type, and first of all the capacity. Okay, okay, so the type is general purpose V2 here. So you can see it's around 212.99 average per month. Okay, so I'm selecting the performance as premium. You can see the cost has increased to 1536. So it's again consuming so much if we are going for a premium type, and the type is blob storage. So it's very recommended that we can, if as far as we can work with standard general purpose, we should go for it. Why to pay double for what is not required? Okay, because it is fulfilling our needs already. So until it is very much required, you can use standard general purpose V2 only. Okay, so that way is going to fulfill all your requirements. Okay, so that's all for this video. So we'll meet again in our next module. Hope you are now clear about what I explained in this video. I'm again saying, if you have any doubts, any concern, you can post on my video. I'll be more than happy to answer your query. And please do like and subscribe my videos to get the latest notification. Have a great day. Bye bye.